So the halving in regards to this technology, it's a very important aspect of it because every 4 years the reward for mining gets cut in half. So the economics behind it get tighter and tighter, right? So in the past, the ups and downs between what people can buy Bitcoin for versus what people can mine, the price that people can mine Bitcoin for, that is definitely narrowing. So the economics is going to change. I think in general, it's going to be way easier for very, very large companies and even entire countries to mine Bitcoin, as opposed to like the smaller guys, right? But something that the large guys don't have access to are these little stranded pockets of energy, or small solar farms, or things like turning waste into energy. Like there's a company that's doing, they're taking tires, they're incinerating the tires, basically digesting the material and turning that into methane and then mining Bitcoin off of it, right? So like large countries or corporations that are only interested in like gigawatts of power aren't necessarily interested in these smaller applications. But what I see is companies becoming a lot more competitive, small companies, small businesses, by integrating Bitcoin mining into other business verticals, like we said earlier. So I think maybe in the next 10 years, you're going to see Bitcoin miners popping up everywhere. Anywhere that you can use heat. If you're using electric heat, it makes sense to use Bitcoin miners to heat that application or that process instead. So more and more as time goes by, there's more manufacturers making these miners. There's different people making technology, for Bitcoin mining. In the past, it used to just be shoebox style miners, and the only form factor that you can get a miner in would be like this little thing that has two fans on either side, and you put it on a rack. But other companies like Block, which used to be Square, Block is now making Bitcoin mining equipment, and that is more flexible, that you can basically just take the chip and integrate it into something else, into a different type of a form factor. So yeah, I think companies are going to start taking these Bitcoin mining chips and integrating it into all sorts of different applications, even longer into the future, like maybe 20, 50 years from now, maybe like every single cell phone in the entire world will be mining Bitcoin. So yeah, I think it's only going to get more integrated. Utilities themselves, power generation plants, people who own nuclear plants or gas plants or coal plants, the power generation companies themselves will be Bitcoin miners, and I think it's going to get even more tightly integrated. Maybe even in the future, your local utility that you buy your power from to heat your house, maybe they will even be selling Bitcoin miners so that they can help balance the grid. So if you have millions and millions of people that are each mining Bitcoin, and if the utility can actually control those miners and say, hey, we have an ice storm, what can we do? Well, let's just send a signal to each house to turn off the Bitcoin miners that the utility owns, and that the people have agreed to. Then they can actually use that to help balance the grid, and all of a sudden now they can divert more power to to whatever application they need it to, and less towards the Bitcoin mining, and they can eventually offer electricity for cheaper because they don't have to spend so much money on load balancing. So yeah, I just think Bitcoin mining in the future is going to be way more integrated into everyday life and commercial applications, and will get a lot more streamlined and more easily adopted by the general public.